Let's talk about the commander component of EDH. A commander is one specific legendary creature that your deck is built around. Now, typically you can pick any legendary creature you'd like, but Magic have given us a few different ways of mixing and matching and making that idea a little bit more interesting. In 2016, they introduced the concept of partner, and what partner was is a keyword that allowed you to have more than one creature with that keyword partner to be in the commander zone at the same time. This allowed you to mix and match these creatures to create interesting deck colors and different deck synergies. Wizards then in 2020 introduced the concept of companion. Companion is a legendary creature that can sit alongside your commander. These legendary creature companions introduce new rule sets for your deck. So for instance, Lurrus, in order for him to qualify as a companion, each permanent card in your starting deck had to have converted mana cost 2 or less. This also made it quite interesting in a way to build your deck and think about new strategies. Now, in 2022, we have the new concept of backgrounds being introduced in Baldur's Gate. And what are backgrounds? Well, backgrounds come alongside legendary creatures that are printed within the set. Now, these are all monocolored legendary creatures that will have the text choose a background on them. And from there, we can then pick from a selection of these backgrounds, which are enchantments that give special effects just like your companions would. You can cast them and then they affect the commander on which you've sort of selected. And this gives some nice diversity in the ways that we can build our decks once again. So very similar to partner and companion, backgrounds introduce this new concept. Now, you can have backgrounds in your 99. You can have these creatures that select backgrounds from your 99, but you can only have a creature that has select a background, and you can only have a background in your command zone if your creature has that text in it. Otherwise, you cannot just have, say, partners with a background and so on. So just keep that in mind as we get through these decks, because these decks will all introduce the concept of background and as an alternative to the commander. Next up, we have Draconic Dissent. Izzit? Is it really a dragon? This dragon, its name is like causing controversy all over the interwebs, because it does sound very much like a good swear word. Okay. Collector boosters. We have Precon, Cunning Instigator, and it is a legendary creature dragon with flying and haste, and whenever one or more dragons you control attack an opponent, Goad target creature that player controls, and whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, if that creature had to attack this combat, you put a 1/1 counter on Precon, Cunning Instigator, and you draw a card. So this is not your typical Izzit type deck, right? It's doing Goady stuff, flying haste, so it's going to come out and do work straight away. And so it's sort of got like your draw. It's got your Goad. It's going to be interesting stuff. I think this deck is going to be quite different. Let's see what's inside. We have Precon, Cunning Instigator. We have Baloth, Burial Entertainer. And this is a 5-mana 2/5. Creatures your opponents control with power less than Baloth's power are goaded. That's just passive, just like that. Whenever a goaded creature attacking or blocking creature dies, you create a treasure token. What? And pick a background. And the background that they give you here is a 2-mana legendary enchantment that says, commander creatures you have, say, tap 2, sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter creature on this creature, and draw a card. So it's got ramp and it's got card draw. What? So yeah, this deck I think is just going to be value town all the way. Okay, cool. So in terms of land package, there are 38 lands with a good complement of basics, both in red and in blue, which is interesting. This means that there is, like, seriously that many cards you can replace with better lands. So, but in terms of like unique sort of utility lands and some duels, let's go through those quick. We have Terrain Generator, right? Temple of the False God, Reliquary Tower suggests that you're going to be drawing lots of cards. Prismari Campus, Path of Ancestry, also interesting, kind of alludes that that there's going to be some need of your commander's colors. We just go Path of Ancestry, Myriad Landscape, Izzit Boiler Works, Ash Barrens, Wandering Firmole, Temple of Epiphany, Kirkkeep. This card is actually really good in a few other decks and quite hard to get, so interesting. Desolate Lighthouse, Castle Vantress, and your command tower. Not mind-blowing. There have been better land packages so far in some of the other decks, but let's dive through what we have here in terms of other stuff. In terms of your duels, there's just two. Sprite Dragon and Niv-Mizzet Perun. Niv-Mizzet Perun is a great commander. It does quite a lot and quite threatening, gives you lots of value in terms of draw, and can slowly start pinging down the board. So very cool that they added this Niv-Mizzet and not the other one, because the other one has seen reprints up to the Wazaya. Alright, in terms of artifacts, we have Bloodthirsty Blade, Valwar Stone, Hedron Archive, Izzit Signet, Soul Ring, Talisman of Creativity, Arcane Signet with the new artwork, Burnished Heart, also with a new artwork, and it's super cute. Mind Stone, Wayfarer's Bauble, Dragon's Hoard, Solemn Silurancum, Steel Halkite, and a Stuffy Doll. Alright, in terms of red, we have Curse of Opulence. Really great card. This card, printed also in a commander set originally, has sort of just risen in price because of the treasures. You know, everything is really great with treasures. I mean, it says gold, but everyone knows it's actually a treasure. We have Shiny Impetus, Agitator Ant. Seen a lot of reprints actually recently. A Crone Wall, Avatar of Slaughter, Blasphemous Act, Barrage Taunter, Chain Reaction, Chaos Dragon. This dragon is actually quite fun. Chaos Warp, Disrupt Decorum. I think this is the one that everyone was thinking about when we hear the word Goad. I think it was one of the first sort of spells that when it gets cast, you kind of feel safe, like a Teferi's Protection. The only thing that you're kind of scared of is new creatures entering the battlefield with haste, right? Draskuth Maw of Flames, Geo Rager, Goblin Spymaster, Kazul, also a very cool card. I'm glad that they reprinted that. We have Rowan Kenrith, and we also have Will, who's also in the blue stuff. Spoilers, we have Ryusi Fallen Star, Territorial Hellkite, also quite a neat dragon. Thunder Dragon, Vengeful Ancestor, also with Goad, right? Warmonger Hellkite, Bothersome Quailist, Menace. Goaded creatures your opponent's control can't block. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, goad target creature until opponents. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, and goad target creature an opponent controls, just like that. So that's pretty neat. I think we're gonna have. I think the big thing with Goad is there isn't like a Goad token or anything like that. So keeping track of what's been goaded, what isn't, is a little tricky. Death Kiss, Loot Dispute. That's quite a cool name of a card, I guess. And Spectacular Showdown. Blue, we have Compulsive Research, Curse of Verbosity. I love this card. I just love the art. Like, he's just told a bad joke. Like, he doesn't know that the town... Like, look at that guy's face. He's just offended. Propaganda. Psychic Impetus. These Impetus cards are great. So there's the red Impetus and then this one. So they really buff up the opponent's creature, but it's permanently goaded pretty much. Ether Gale, Angler Turtle, Curse of Swine, Dissipation Field, Domineering Will, Giga the Tide Star, Midnight Clock, Pursued Whale, Reigns of Power. I have a really cool game in my head where Reigns of Power won the game, and I think it's an undervalued card. It's super good. Sly Instigator, this is one of the new cards. 4 mana for 2/4, pay 1 blue and tap it into next end turn. Target creature an opponent controls can't be blocked, and we goad that creature. In the right deck, yeah, it depends on what you're facing, but that could kill. This is a sneaky card, super good. Will Kenrith, Artificer Class, Astral Dragon. There's another very interesting one, but for 8 mana. Just bear that in mind. 4/4, flying, project image. When Astral Dragon enters the battlefield, create 2 tokens that are copies of target non-creature permanent, except there are 3/3 dragon creatures in addition to other types. They have flying. So that is super interesting. And it seems like both come the target of a permanent, so it's not like you can pick multiple permanents, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I think that's how it works. But super interesting if your opponent has a Guy's Cradle. Whoops, now you've got 2 flying 3/3 dragon Guy's Cradles. Very interesting. Mocking Doppelganger. Flash, you may have Mocking Doppelganger enter the battlefield as a copy of creature an opponent controls, except it has other creatures with the same name as this creature are goaded. So I've got a feeling that there's going to be some interesting things that I'm going to go way out of my way to make this card. Like, I don't know if there's a card out there that can make every other creature have the same name as this creature or whatever, but that seems like really fun stuff. Lots of goady stuff in here. So this is kind of like Izzit, but it's like combat-centric Izzit. It's very left field. But I think with like the value sitting in the command zone and that permanent sort of like goading effects, this deck I think is going to be quite an interesting one, and I think it's going to be quite cool to see how people upgrade it. In terms of your special cards, what do we get here? Ooh, a shiny Firebolt. I mean, what am I saying? Firebolt. A shiny Lightning Bolt. Yes, that's very cool. And then John Jensen, Chaos Artifice Crafter. It's a 3 mana 3/3 with haste. Sacrifice an artifact creature, create 2 treasure tokens. Sacrifice a non-creature artifact creature, create 2 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature tokens. Very interesting. Alright, that was Draconic Dissent. A huge shout out to the Luck Shack for getting me these cards ahead of time. I know as we speak, they should all be available on the Luck Shack's website. They should be preloading them already. I get these ahead of time, so before they're available for the general public here in South Africa. If you'd like to pick up any of the singles or one of the Precon decks, you can get that at the Luck Shack. You can find a link in the description below. If you enjoy this content, hit subscribe and like the video. And if you have any comments, drop those below. I like reading through those, and it really shows that I'm heading in the right direction. So any of that sort of comment or any suggestions goes a long way. Thanks for watching. Until next time.